Greetings everyone and welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve and welcome to the Bram Stoker's Dracula Pinball machine. This is going to be part one of the restoration that I'm going to be doing out of a two-part series. Now technically it's part 5 because 6 years ago when I got the game I did 1 to 4 and I added lighting mods, I added the lid flippers and I LED'd and whatnot, but the truth is it's a new day and it's a new perspective. So Mary, come in close if you can, please. As you can see, the game sits beautifully already, but I want to make it even better. And what that's going to entail is I'm not taking the playfield apart. It's already been cleaned, but I am going to be cleaning it even better and waxing it and cleaning anything that I see that is either dirty and or broken. I'm going to be replacing a few rubbers that I see that are worn. And Mary, if you can follow me here on the turtles, I will be putting in the inner arc blades. I want to change the score sheets here to the original ones. I have a weird affliction for the old vendor ones. They look, kind of more original. So I'm going to laminate those and put those in. I want to do a few lighting mods, add a spotlight, add a plunger assembly like that's lit up. I'm going to first start with the casters so it's easier to slide. I'm going to add a sticker to the lockdown bar that says ball 4. So just a few little things that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a light restore. And eventually, part 2, but we'll get to that, we'll be replacing this, which is red by factory, to that one there, Mary, if you want to check on Swords of Fury. That's clear. And also to the right of that, there are crosses that will go on the speaker grill. They're, add a little detail behind the crescendo of in and out with the light to be a little more ominous. And then also replace this with a color DMD. But before we get to that, first things first, I also, I always start easy. I want to replace the casters so it's easier to move. Then we're going to start to clean outside of the playfield. If you don't know, Mary, I do use Gojo with just a paper towel, clean any outside, any stains. Then we get to the playfield. So I've just cleaned the outside of the cabinet. Again, I use Gojo there on some paper towels. So it was a great clean. It was clean to begin with, but it now gives it a great shine. As you can see, look at that. Side of the cabinet looks beautiful. Front now is all clean. There was some dirt. Remember, I did move and it was in storage for a while. Beautiful there on the side. So it really pops now. And then on the back as well, looks really nice. There was a good amount of dirt and dust, and on the top it's been cleaned as well. So now that I have the playfield open, I'm just about to wax it and clean what I can. Again, it's clean to begin with, but I just want to give it that chef's kiss and final touch. As you can see, this is the top down without it being waxed. Okay, and I'll be back momentarily with it all waxed up. And if there's any rubbers I have to change or anything, I'll let you know. So I've just finished waxing the playfield. I use mill wax. I got this from Eddie, pinballleds.ca. It's in the description below. And here is the fully clean and waxed playfield. Again, it was clean before, but there was a lot more dirt than I thought near the pop bumpers, obviously going back and forth. And looks really nice and shiny now. And looks really nice. Replaced the rubbers on the lightning flippers there. So it looks really good. Again, looks really shiny. I cleaned the ramps and everything. So now what I'm going to do is lift the playfield. I'm going to show you in the cabinet itself and how we're going to clean that. So I've just lifted the playfield. Here is inside of the cabinet. It's already very clean to begin with, but I do want to vacuum. As you can see, there is some debris in the back there and in some dust. And I'm going to get a wet cloth with some dish soap and just wipe down any remaining dust and anything else that's on here. I'm going to come back once I finish this just to see the inside of the clean cabinet. So we are done cleaning the inside of the cabinet. Turned out great. There was more debris and things in the back of the cabinet and dust on the bottom part. So that looks great. Baking soda there to absorb any lingering odors. Next, I'm going to be taking, if you're new to my channel, this has worked wonders, peak polish. So I use peak polish on the metal here, especially with the grime. And then I'm going to finish it off with Deoxit 5, a bit of a hack in the last few series I've had here. It's been working great. That really gives it that extra shine. And then the extra install 4 balls. Got this from Marco's. That's going to replace this. I'm going to just take this sticker out as that's worn out and it looks faded. So I'll be back when this is all nice and chromed up and the new stickers installed. All right, so we are done. I've taken sandpaper just because there were stubborn stains that weren't coming out with the polish. Did it all around there. It started to peel the sticker, so I left it as is. Installed the sticker, used the peak to get that shine, and then Deoxit just to remove any residue and give it that really nice shiny polishy look. And I've also used, I've been using this for years. This is Curry's paint, just some black paint I've used, and I touched up the wooden portion right here. Looks great, so that's nice and done. Next, I have a coin bucket. As you can see, it says Dracula. I'm going to remove all that, shine up the lid of the coin bucket. Okay, so the lid of the coin bucket now is all nice and shining. Looks great. So it's a combination, because there was some pitted rust in it, 400 grit sandpaper, and then I took peak polish after that, left it on for a few minutes, wiped it clean, and then took Deoxit, and it came out looking super shiny. All of the oxidization and the remaining filings of the sandpaper just goes and it shines like mad. Looks great. Here's the inside of the coin bucket. That's a separator. This game has a loonie, which is a Canadian dollar. So it would segregate the loonies from the quarters. So let's put this back and in. Okay, and let's put the clip in. All right, so the coin bucket now is in. Next, what we're going to be doing is starting to add some lighting mods. It's the only one that I have that I bought. This is from Mods Celtic, and it's a Dracula shooter cover. So this will replace the just black one here, right here. So my understanding is we just remove those 2 screws, and this will go on, looks to be one of these, I think here. And then, so we would put the light in there, and then this connects, so there's extra connectors there. That connects to this little plug there, screw in, and it does tie to the GI, and then now it has 2 LED strips, which probably going to be red or white, I'm not sure. And then that's it, and then we're going to light that up, and then later, I've already crimped and did the wires. This works if you're curious. Okay, so one-handed, and then I just threw a 5-volt battery just to see if it works. And there we go. I'm going to add a spotlight. This game's very dark. I'm going to lower it. I'll show you. I'm going to lower it to the left sling plastic. I'll show you in a moment after I install this. We'll see how they look. So all the lighting mods and the replacement of any lights that were out has been completed. So both these 2 lights where the arrows are, the advanced arrows were out. I've just replaced them with new LEDs. They look great. Before they were red, I'm going to put them back to purple, how they were. They look great. Also, I added the spotlight. It's a very super bright 2 SMD spotlight. Looks great there, just to help with the overall playfield. kind of hard to tell with the back glass off. And then lastly, the shooter rod. This is the coffin mod. So this is tied to the C in Dracula. So it's not on, and then it turns on like that. So the off, and then boom, on. So that looks great. So next there's a mod that I kind of had on the list on and off, and I'm like, let's give it a shot now that I'm getting a bit better at doing and stuff. So this was a mod and a replacement for the original Dracula here, and which is known as the Ron Jeremy Dracula. And this sculpted coffin mod is absolutely beautiful. And it was actually someone that we know in our pinball community, which is local. And Brock did this, and it's great work. But the problem is, it's you've never been able to add this part behind it because it wasn't long enough and it hit the glass. Well, I was playing around with a few of the hex spacers, which are often meant to raise, we'll say, spotlights, and I'm like, well, let's see if I add a few of them and it works, and I think it now will. So I'm just toying with the idea of adding it, and we're going to give it a try. If it works, if not, we'll leave it as it is, but I think we might be able to squeeze it in. At least you won't see it all. You won't see the Vlad Dracula, but you would see the cross and the two lights above it, which is also nice. So they would sit right here. I'm going to be back and see if we can get it working, and if it's worth just toying with, and also add a little more flair to the game. I'll be back. And the mod is done. It looks even better than I originally thought. Here I am thinking it would have never fit, but now just me trying it, and good thing I did, it looks beautiful. The housing of the tombstone I had when my buddy gave me it, he gave me some extra parts. It fits beautifully. Everything's secure in there. The two lights here, the one SMD blue lights, really look nice, kind of look like lanterns. Now it assists while doing the gameplay with the modes. It actually is continuity with the game. Looks absolutely great. I had some other parts from my buddy that he gave me, and it was just in there, and I'm like, you know what, let's give it a shot, and good thing I've done it. And this is what helped me do it. These I got from Marco's hex spacers. They're just short enough to clear the glass. If you add two together instead of one big one like this, if you add two together, it's perfect height for adding it. And if you look at the line of sight, we're gonna just clear it with the glass. Looks beautiful. Even something I didn't think I was gonna add, and it looks great. And I've always thought, is there a way to do it? And it works. Goes to show a little bit of ingenuity, a little bit of thinking, and just give it a try. Looks great. So now the only thing left to do, that was a big one, is laminate these cards, add the inner art blades. Okay, so we've sent the score sheets to Staples to be laminated. In the meantime, Mary, if you can just come behind me for a sec. So here are the inner art blades. Now, again, this was something that's never meant for the machine until after. As you can see, they go very far back, literally up until the end of the machine. But inside of the cabinet, it's not square. There's inserts there. Mary, if you can just point the camera there, and it kind of does a 45. So what I'm going to have to do is, number one, I'm going to have to line it up where the light is here, and then cut probably a good 4 inches off here. And then there's going to be, see this lip here? So I'm going to have to cut about a square. Then I have to measure it where the screw is and the nut is for the head. So I'm going to have to kind of just do this, cut, and then find the screw, and then just cut out a circle. So when I put it on, it lines up correctly. So I'll be back when I do that. I'm going to be lifting the playfield all the way up. So the one side has been added. This one takes a little more work. So like I said, what I did, I had to cut it like 4 inches. And I know that's a bit of a square instead of a circle, but the truth is you can't see it in the playfield. As long as it fits and it sits flat and straight there. It looks great. So far so good. It went better than I thought. Now let's do this side. I have to be extra careful because this castle assembly might pull. Where it gets difficult, when you get up to here, it's easy. So if you're not aware of my other videos, what you do is I stick it with tape. Like I just get tape, stick it in place, take the actual backing off, cut it, tape it there, and then cut it again, and then cut it again until you get around halfway. And then what you have to do is you have to make sure you get it between there. That's what it actually got stuck. I thought it was screwed. But in between there is where it got stuck. So thank God I was able to literally untape it and go back on. And then it lowered it, put it down, and went great. So I'll be back when the left side is on, and I'll show you the end result. So the left side went on even easier. I had to cut this a little extra, but you can't even see it because it stops here when you lower the playfield. But I had to cut this because there's a little PCB that runs, I think, to the coin door or whatever. So everything was gone through smoothly, very smoothly. I'm actually getting pretty confident in adding them. And if you're listening, and truth be told, I'm always dreading adding inner art blades. Don't be. There's nothing to be afraid of. Remember, that once the stickers go on, you can remove them. Like, they're not permanent once you stick it on. So yeah, I've had to remove them, put them back on, and they stick on great. It's not the wet method. It's just one off. You just line it up here, and then once it gets to like here, it's straight, and then that's it. Cut the backing there, and then remove all the backing. Slowly, put it through, put it in. If it gets stuck, that's fine. Unstick it from the back, and then pull it here again. Leave like it comes here, and then put it back. It takes 2 seconds. I don't know why I was afraid of, inner art blades and what method. Just do it. Just do it. The worst case scenario, if I got stuck there, so what? Remove it here. Pull it. It's just the adhesive is not permanent. Later when it sticks on, I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes before I start to go up and down on the playfield. And that's it. Let me lower the playfield and I'll show you what it looks like. And we are done, and they look great. Let me show you closer. There's this side, the continuity of the graveyard there on the artwork coming down here. Beautiful blues, purples, and black, similar to the playfield. There's the wolves. And then on the right side here, some rolling hills and paths. And then a little horse and buggy gimmick. It looks great. And if you guys are curious about you have to DIY. Remember, these games were not meant for it. Now, remember, that was bought years ago. So a lot of the new graphics are meant for the game that have been made by companies, and a lot of other companies have done them and they already have the cutout. So a big deal. I did the square. It's not you can't see it. Who cares? It went great. So you do a little DIY. You cut it and then you flip it and you copy, because it's going to be the same on the other side for the most part. Again, I had to cut out a little extra there, but you can't see it and they look great. Never ever am I going to be ever afraid to add inner art blades again. Don't be afraid. The wet method is unnecessary unless you want to. That's fine. I don't think it's necessary. I literally did this. I could have done it in real time. That's how fast I did it. And they turned out perfect. Anyways, next, don't be afraid. Next, add the score sheets. Staples have told me they're ready tomorrow. But so when we button this up and wrap it up, we will be done part 1. I'll be back and we'll show you everything complete. We can wrap up part 1 and I'll say my goodbyes. So I've just came back from Staples and picked up the laminated score sheets, and they look great. There is the pricing one, and here is the rules. This is the one that the game came with. Again, it's beautiful and it's better than this, but I still, again, have an affinity for the old vendor type scoring and pricing. It just kind of looks like it was in an arcade. Again, that's the old, and then that was the one prior that was all tarnished, and then this as well. So you can see a big difference. So that looks great and done. Next, like I do for all the games, I'm going to take a peak polish. Here it is here. All right, polish the metal and then finish it off with the little Deoxit 5 for that extra shine and the extra chrome. So I'll be back once that is done and also do it to the lockdown bar, and we're good to go. We're almost done. And we are done. Part 1, chromed out all the side rails that look beautiful. Look at that, reflecting like mirrors. The lockdown bar, same thing. It seems to be a winning combination of peak polish and then finish it off with Deoxit 5. Look at that. It looks absolutely amazing. Cabinet, beautiful. And I've cleaned the glass, cleaned the CPR back glass, and we are done part 1. Let me turn the lights off, or some of them anyways. There is the game there. Again, beautiful addition, which I didn't even, have it on my list of things to do. Ended up turning out better than I thought. Beautiful LEDs, beautiful cleaning, waxed, beautifully polished. All the silver inner arc blades, added a spotlight, added the coffin mod. It looks beautiful. Now on to part 2. So in the next part, I just got word from my buddy Dino, and I'm going to be going with Dino's pin to DMD, color DMD display for this. And also for my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Data East. That's going to come in the next month or so. But he does have the BSD ready for me with the latest code update and version of the DMD itself firmware. So I'm really excited for that. Join me in part 2. And I'm not going to put it back on the lineup because, again, I'm picking it up any day now, where part 2, turn the light back on here. Part 2 will consist of just right here. I'm going to be removing the red overlay here to the clear one so the color pops. I'm going to replace the red DMD with a color DMD, and then finally the chef's kiss, the final. I'm going to be adding these reflective crosses to the speaker grill right there, and we are done. BSD, it'll go back in the lineup. I can't wait. Again, I don't even want to play it. It just looks so beautiful. But it's been a pleasure, guys. If you haven't had a chance, please subscribe. So much more coming. If you want to see the ending, how this turns out, look for the next week, as I'll be getting this done sooner than later. All the very best, and thanks for checking out Top Tier.